The Rules of Wealth. I want to take you on a journey through one of the most practical and transformative books about money you'll ever encounter. This isn't about get-rich-quick schemes or complex financial formulas. This is about understanding the mindset, behaviors, and principles that separate the wealthy from everyone else. Let me start by addressing something fundamental. Anybody can be wealthy. Yes, you read that right. Money doesn't discriminate based on your background, education, race, or social class. Every single day starts with a clean slate, and the only thing holding you back is yourself and your own beliefs about money. The wealthy understand this simple truth. Money is there for the taking, and those who claim it are the ones who get up early, work hard, and put in the hours. But before we dive into the practical strategies, we need to address something critical: your relationship with money. Most of us grow up with what I call money myths. These are deeply ingrained beliefs we've inherited from our parents, society, and our experiences. Beliefs like, money is the root of all evil, rich people are greedy, I don't deserve to be wealthy, or you have to work too hard to get rich. These myths are poison to your financial future. They're invisible chains holding you back from prosperity. Think about it. If deep down you believe that money corrupts people or that wanting wealth is somehow wrong, how can you ever truly pursue it? You'll unconsciously sabotage your own efforts. The first step to wealth is examining these beliefs, understanding where they came from, and deliberately replacing them with empowering ones. Money is okay. Wanting money is okay. I am going to be wealthy. I am prepared to put in the work. Now, let's talk about what wealth actually means to you. This is crucial because if you don't define your destination, you'll never know if you've arrived. For some people, wealth means having enough money to never worry about bills. For others, it means living off the interest on their investments. One wealthy person I know defined success as living on the interest on his capital. Think about that for a moment. His money makes money, and then that money makes more money, and he lives off that third generation of income. Your definition needs to be specific, not just I want to be rich, but something measurable and meaningful to you. Maybe it's having a certain amount in the bank, owning property outright, or generating a specific passive income. Write it down, make it real, because without a clear definition, you're just driving around aimlessly hoping to stumble upon wealth. Once you've defined wealth, you need to set your objectives. This is about creating a timeline and a plan. Where are you now financially? Where do you want to be in 5 years, 10 years, 20? How do you intend to get there? This isn't about vague dreams. It's about concrete, realistic, achievable objectives. Your plan needs to be honest with yourself about your starting point, realistic about what's possible, and achievable given your circumstances and abilities. Here's something interesting. Once you've started on this journey, keep it to yourself. Don't broadcast your plans to become wealthy. There are several reasons for this. First, other people's opinions are often negative, and this can derail you before you even start. Second, if everyone is doing the same thing, there's less opportunity for you. Third, there's no need to give away your best ideas. And honestly, most people don't really want to know what you're up to anyway. Keep your plans private, work quietly, and let your results speak for themselves. Now let's address a hard truth. Most people are too lazy to be wealthy. They say they want money, but they're not willing to put in the work. They want it to fall into their laps through luck or chance. Look at anyone genuinely wealthy, and you'll see one common denominator. They work incredibly hard. They might make it look effortless, but behind the scenes, they're grafting. They get up early, work late, sacrifice leisure time, and dedicate themselves completely to their goals. You have to be honest with yourself about this. Are you willing to work harder than you've ever worked before? Are you prepared to miss television shows, skip social events, and spend your evenings and weekends building your wealth? Because if you're not, that's okay. But then accept that significant wealth probably isn't for you. There's no shame in choosing a different path, but you can't have complete leisure and significant wealth. Not at the beginning, anyway. Let's get real about your current situation. Before you can move forward, you need to know exactly where you are right now. This means doing a complete financial audit. List everything you own: property, investments, cash, possessions. Then list everything you owe: mortgages, loans, credit card debts. Calculate your net worth. Then look at your monthly income and expenses. Where is your money actually going? This exercise can be uncomfortable, even painful, but it's absolutely necessary. You can't navigate to a destination if you don't know your starting point.
Many people avoid this step because they're afraid of what they'll find. Maybe you're in debt. Maybe you've been spending more than you realize. Maybe your financial situation is worse than you thought. Face it anyway. Reality is your friend, not your enemy. Once you know the truth, you can take action to change it. One of the biggest leaks in most people's finances is interest payments. Credit card debt is particularly insidious. If you're carrying balances on multiple cards, paying minimum payments, and accumulating interest, you're throwing money away every single month. This needs to stop immediately. Cut up your credit cards. Pay off your debts as quickly as possible, starting with the highest interest rate first. Every pound or dollar you pay in interest is money that could be working for you instead of working for the credit card company. The same principle applies to your mortgage and any other loans. Make sure you're not paying more interest than necessary. Shop around. Don't just accept whatever your bank offers. The wealthy are eagle-eyed about these details. They don't leak money unnecessarily. Here's a powerful concept that will change your financial life. Money begets money. Money likes to cluster together. It breathes quietly and quickly. The rich get richer because their money works for them. Once you have some capital, it grows exponentially through compound interest. This is why you must set aside money for breeding purposes. Think of it like a rabbit farm. If you eat all your rabbits, you won't have any left to breed more rabbits. Put some money aside, let it breed, take a little for spending, and reinvest the bulk to build up a healthy stock. Understanding compound interest is absolutely vital to building wealth. I won't give you the mathematical formula here because you need to research it yourself and truly understand it. But grasp this: it's one of the most powerful forces in finance. Einstein supposedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. Those who understand compound interest earn it. Those who don't, pay it. Now, let's talk about your relationship with money on a deeper level. If you see money as the solution to all your problems, you'll be disappointed. Money doesn't make you happier, thinner, more popular, better looking, or solve your relationship issues. Money is a tool, not a cure. It can buy away a lot of unhappiness by removing financial stress, but it can't buy happiness itself. Understanding this distinction is crucial because it keeps you grounded and prevents the disappointment that comes when you realize that wealth alone doesn't transform your life in the way you imagined. You can make lots of money, enjoy your job, and sleep well at night. This is important because many people believe that becoming wealthy requires selling your soul, sacrificing your family, or becoming a ruthless, manipulative person. This simply isn't true. There are plenty of ordinary, decent people who make good money honestly and enjoyably. If you're losing sleep or hating your work, something's wrong. Wealth should enhance your life, not destroy it. Never make money by being bad. If you have to lie, cheat, steal, or break the law to make money, don't do it. It's not worth it. Beyond the obvious legal and moral issues, being bad is actually bad business. It means you haven't been creative enough or smart enough to make money legitimately. The truly wealthy make their money honestly because they've found genuine value to provide to the world. Let me share something about how wealthy people think differently. Watch someone read their Sunday newspaper, and you'll see something revealing. Notice which paper they choose, which sections they read, and in what order. The wealthy consistently choose serious papers, read the business and financial sections first, and discard the frivolous stuff. If you're serious about wealth, you need to study money, understand markets, read about wealthy people, and learn how they think. This isn't light reading. It's education. It's training. It's essential. Here's something that might surprise you. Don't envy what others have. Envy is pointless and destructive. Everyone sets their own objectives and puts in their own level of work. Unless you know how hard someone worked, what they sacrificed, and what their strategy was, you can't meaningfully compare yourself to them. Instead of envying, learn from them. Study successful people.
Try to understand how they did it. Use them as inspiration and as sources of valuable information, not as objects of jealousy. Managing yourself is harder than managing your money. The biggest obstacle to wealth isn't lack of knowledge or opportunity, it's lack of discipline, determination, and willpower. Do you have what it takes? Are you willing to delay gratification? Can you resist spending money you should be saving? Will you stick with your plan when it gets difficult? These questions are more important than any investment strategy. Let's move to the practical side of building wealth. You need a plan. Not a vague wish or a dream, but a concrete plan with specific steps. Your plan should address how you'll get control of your finances, how you'll generate income, how you'll invest, and how you'll protect your wealth. Write it down, review it regularly, adjust it as needed, but don't abandon it just because progress seems slow. Getting your finances under control means stopping the leaks. Check your direct debits and subscriptions. Are you paying for things you don't use? Are you paying more than you need to for services? Small amounts add up over time. £5 here, £10 there, and suddenly you're spending hundreds or thousands unnecessarily every year. The wealthy don't waste money on things they don't need or use. Here's a controversial one. Insurance. Insurance companies set premiums to make profit. That means, on average, you'll pay more in premiums than you'll ever get back in claims. So why insure? Only insure what you legally must or what you couldn't afford to replace with cash. If you can afford to buy a new washing machine if yours breaks, don't insure it. Instead, put that insurance premium money into savings. Over time, you'll be better off. Looking wealthy helps you become wealthy. I'm not talking about expensive clothes or flashy cars. I'm talking about presenting yourself as confident, capable, and successful. The way you walk, dress, and carry yourself affects how others perceive and treat you. People respond to visual cues. If you look successful, doors open more easily. Opportunities come your way. This doesn't mean spending money you don't have on designer labels. It means investing in quality, maintaining good grooming, and projecting confidence. You have to speculate to accumulate, but not in the way you might think. I'm not talking about gambling. I'm talking about speculating with your time, energy, and effort. You have to invest in yourself, in learning, in building skills and knowledge. You have to put in the hours. The speculation is that your hard work will pay off, and unlike financial speculation, this kind almost always does if you're smart about it. Understand your attitude to risk. How much are you willing to risk? How much can you afford to lose? Your risk tolerance will vary depending on your age, family situation, and financial position. There's no right or wrong answer, but you need to know your own limits and make decisions accordingly. Never risk more than you can afford to lose. Never put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify your investments and income streams. Trust is fundamental in business. If you don't trust someone, don't do business with them. This sounds obvious, but people ignore their instincts all the time. If something feels wrong, walk away. If a deal seems too good to be true, it probably is. Listen to that little voice in your head that warns you about dodgy dealers and suspicious schemes. Your intuition is picking up on subtle cues your conscious mind hasn't processed yet. It's never too late to start building wealth. Whether you're 20 or 60, you can begin today. The principles are the same. Obviously, the earlier you start, the more time compound interest has to work its magic, but don't use your age as an excuse not to start. Even if you only have 10 years until retirement, that's 10 years of growth you could have. Start now. If you're young, start saving immediately. Even small amounts add up over time. Get into the habit early. If you're older, teach this to your children. One of the best gifts you can give them is financial education and good money habits. Teach them to save half of everything they earn, no matter how small the amount. This habit, formed early, will serve them for life. Your financial needs change at different life stages. When you're young and single, you can take more risks. When you have a family, you need more security. As you approach retirement, your priorities shift again. Plan for these changes. Don't assume your current situation will last forever.
Here's a truth that can't be avoided. You have to work hard to get rich enough not to have to work hard. The wealthy work incredibly hard, especially in the beginning. They sacrifice leisure, social life, and sleep to build their wealth, but they do it so that eventually they won't have to. First comes the pain, then comes the gain. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something. Learn the art of deal making. Deals make money. Salary and fees provide income, but real wealth comes from deals. Buy something and sell it for more. Trade up. Exchange what you have for what you want. Look at the story of the person who started with a red paper clip and through a series of trades ended up with a house. That's deal making. It's about seeing value where others don't and being willing to take action. Negotiation is a vital skill. Everything is negotiable. Your salary, the price of a house, the terms of a contract. Learn to negotiate well and you'll save thousands over your lifetime. Know your bottom line, know what you want, aim for win-win outcomes, and be prepared to walk away if the deal isn't right. Small economies won't make you wealthy, but they will make you miserable. Cutting out your daily coffee or buying cheap toilet paper won't make you rich. What makes you wealthy is earning more, investing wisely, and managing money intelligently. By all means, avoid waste and unnecessary spending, but don't deny yourself small pleasures in the mistaken belief that this is the path to wealth. It isn't. It's the path to a joyless existence. Real wealth comes from deals, not fees. If you work for someone else, you're selling your time. There's a limit to how much you can earn that way. To make serious money, you need to buy and sell things, products, services, property, businesses. This doesn't mean you have to quit your job immediately, but understand that if you want to be truly wealthy, eventually you'll need to do more than just work for wages. Don't waste time procrastinating. Make money decisions quickly, not recklessly, but decisively. Once you've done your research and considered the options, act. Opportunities don't wait around forever. The wealthy understand this. They move fast when they spot a good deal. They don't dither and debate endlessly. They assess, decide, and act. Here's an interesting mindset shift. Work as if you didn't need the money. If people think you need the money, they have power over you. If they believe you're working because you want to, because you're passionate about it, not because you're desperate, you have the power. This applies whether you're employed or self-employed. Do what you do because you love it, not just because you need the paycheck. This attitude is actually more likely to lead to financial success. Live within your means. Spend less than you earn. This is perhaps the most fundamental rule of all. If you consistently spend more than you make, you'll never build wealth. You'll be trapped in a cycle of debt and stress. It's that simple. Control your spending. Know what comes in and what goes out. As long as more comes in than goes out, you're moving in the right direction. Don't borrow money unless you absolutely must. And even then, think hard about whether you really must. Borrowing costs you in interest. That interest is money that could be invested and working for you. Every loan has a cost beyond the interest rate. It costs you freedom, flexibility, and peace of mind. If you must borrow, borrow as little as possible for as short a time as possible, and never borrow from friends or family. Pay off loans and debts as your top priority. If you have debt, nothing else matters financially until it's cleared. Don't invest in savings accounts earning 5% while you're paying 10% on credit card debt. That makes no sense. Clear the debt first, then start investing. The only exception might be a mortgage, which is a special category as it's an investment in property. Cultivate a skill that will repay you over and over. What can you do that others can't or won't? What expertise can you develop that people will pay for? The more rare and valuable your skill, the more you can charge. This doesn't have to be something incredibly difficult. It just needs to be something that people want and are willing to pay for. Find your niche, develop your expertise, and monetize it.
Don't be too busy earning a living to make some money. This sounds paradoxical, but it's important. Many people get so caught up in their day job that they never lift their heads to look for better opportunities. They work hard but never question whether they're working smart. They're too busy doing to think about what they could be doing instead, or additionally, take time to think strategically about your financial future even if you're busy working now. Create multiple income streams. Don't rely on a single source of income. This is about diversification and security. If one stream dries up, you have others. This could mean having a side business alongside your job, rental income from property, dividends from investments, or income from multiple different business activities. The wealthy rarely have just one source of income. Learn to play what if. Always consider what could go wrong and plan accordingly. What if there's a recession? What if you lose your job? What if your main client leaves? What if the market crashes? Thinking through these scenarios isn't pessimistic, it's prudent. It allows you to prepare, diversify, and protect yourself against different risks. Control your impulsive spending. This is huge. The biggest saboteur of wealth building is impulsive spending. You see something, you want it, you buy it. Then it sits in your closet unused or breaks after a few uses, or you forget why you even wanted it. The wealthy control their impulses. If they want something, they wait, they think about it, they make sure it's really worth it. Adopt a rule. Never buy anything significant on impulse. Wait at least a week. If you still want it after a week and you can justify it, then consider buying it.
Don't answer ads promising get-rich-quick schemes. They don't work for you. They work for the person selling them. There are no shortcuts, no secrets, no hidden knowledge that will magically make you wealthy overnight. Anyone promising this is lying. The only person who gets rich from get-rich-quick schemes is the person selling them to gullible people. Don't be that gullible person. There are no secrets. That's worth repeating. There are no secrets to wealth that only a few people know. The principles of building wealth are well known and freely available. You don't need to buy expensive newsletters or pay for secret knowledge. What you need is discipline, hard work, and patience. The information is out there. The question is whether you'll act on it. Don't just read about wealth. Do something. Reading this is fine, but it means nothing unless you take action. Knowledge without action is worthless. Start now. Start small if you must, but start. Change one thing about how you handle money. Begin tracking your spending. Cut up a credit card. Open a savings account. Make a plan. Do something concrete today that moves you toward your financial goals. Once you start building wealth, don't sit back. This is when you need to accelerate. Money makes money, so now you have more resources to work with. Look for more opportunities. Invest in more income streams. Scale up what's working. Stay alert and active. The wealthy don't rest on their laurels. They keep pushing forward. Get money mentors. Find people who have already achieved what you want to achieve and learn from them. Not necessarily formal mentors, though that's ideal, but people you can observe, ask questions of, learn from. The wealthy are usually happy to share their knowledge if you approach them respectfully. They remember when they were starting out. They understand the value of guidance. Pay attention to detail. The wealthy miss nothing. They check every figure, read every contract, notice every charge. Small things add up. A few pounds here and there seems insignificant, but over years it becomes thousands. Check your bank statements, verify charges, read the small print, question everything. This isn't about being paranoid or miserly. It's about being in control and not allowing money to leak away unnecessarily. Understand that property won't necessarily outpace shares in the long run. Property is often seen as a safe investment, and it can be good, but don't assume it's always the best option. Shares have historically provided better long-term returns. This doesn't mean don't invest in property, it means diversify. Don't put everything into property just because it feels safer or more tangible. Master the art of selling. Everything about building wealth involves selling in some form. You sell yourself and your skills, you sell products or services, you sell ideas. Get good at selling and wealth becomes much easier. This doesn't mean becoming a pushy salesperson. It means learning to communicate value, understand what people want, and show them how you can provide it. See yourself as others see you. Your personal brand matters.
How do people perceive you? Are you professional, reliable, trustworthy, or are you seen as flaky, unprofessional, or difficult? Your reputation affects your opportunities. Make sure you're presenting the best version of yourself, the version that opens doors and creates opportunities. Know when to let go of investments. Not everything will work out. Sometimes you need to cut your losses and move on. The key is recognizing when an investment has failed and isn't going to recover. Don't throw good money after bad. Don't hold on to losers out of stubborn pride. Be willing to admit mistakes and move your money to better opportunities. Know your investing style. Are you cautious or aggressive? Do you prefer quick trades or long-term holds? Understanding your own psychology helps you make better decisions and avoid costly emotional mistakes. Don't try to be someone you're not. Work with your natural tendencies while being aware of your potential blind spots. Learn to read a balance sheet. If you're going to invest in companies or run a business, you need to understand financial statements. A balance sheet shows you what a company owns, what it owes, and what it's worth. This is fundamental information. Without it, you're investing blind. Take the time to learn this. It's not as complicated as it seems, and it's essential knowledge. Stay ahead of the tax collector. I'm not talking about evasion, which is illegal. I'm talking about avoidance, which is sensible. Understand tax laws. Use all your allowances. Structure your affairs tax efficiently. Get professional advice. The wealthy don't pay more tax than they have to. Neither should you. This is about being smart, not dishonest. Make your assets work for you. Don't let anything sit idle. If you own property, rent it out. If you have cash, invest it. If you have skills, monetize them. Everything you own should be working to generate more wealth. An asset that just sits there doing nothing is a wasted opportunity.
Take responsibility before you take advice. Know your own situation thoroughly before you ask anyone for advice. Understand what you want to achieve. Then and only then seek expert guidance, but never hand over complete control of your finances to anyone else. It's your money, and you need to stay informed and involved. Now, let's talk about staying wealthy once you've built it. This is where many people who come into money suddenly fail. They don't know how to handle it. They make foolish decisions. They waste it. Shop for quality, not price. This seems counterintuitive, but quality actually saves money in the long run. A cheap item that breaks after 6 months and needs replacing is more expensive than a quality item that lasts years. The wealthy understand this. They buy less, but buy better. Their possessions last longer, look better, and actually cost less over time. Check the small print, always. Every contract, every agreement, every financial product. The small print is where the gotchas hide. It's where companies put the clauses that protect them and potentially harm you. Never sign anything without reading and understanding every word. If you don't understand it, get it explained or get professional advice. Don't spend money before you have it. This is about living in reality, not fantasy. Don't commit to purchases based on income you expect to receive. What if it doesn't come? What if it's less than expected? Spend only money you actually have in hand. This keeps you grounded and prevents the debt spiral that traps so many people. Put money aside for your old age, and more than you think you need. You can't rely on the state to support you. You can't assume your kids will look after you. You need to provide for yourself. Start now, whatever your age. The earlier you start, the easier it is, but it's never too late. Make retirement provision a priority. Have an emergency fund. Life happens. Cars break down, roofs leak, people get sick, you lose your job. You need a cushion to handle these emergencies without derailing your finances. Aim for 3 to 6 months of expenses in an accessible savings account. This gives you security and peace of mind. Shop around for everything. Don't just accept the first price or the most convenient option. Compare prices, negotiate, look for better deals. The wealthy don't overpay for anything. They make sure they're getting value for money. This doesn't mean being cheap. It means being smart and not wasting money unnecessarily. Never borrow from friends or family. It jeopardizes relationships that are more valuable than money.
If you need money, go to proper lenders. Keep your personal relationships separate from financial transactions. The awkwardness, resentment, and complications that arise from borrowing from people close to you simply aren't worth it. Don't give away equity in your business unless absolutely necessary. Equity is a share of your future profits. Once you give it away, you're committed to sharing with someone else forever. It's sometimes necessary, but avoid it if you can. Borrow money if you must, but try to keep ownership yourself. Know when to stop. There comes a point where enough is enough. You have sufficient wealth to live comfortably, provide for your future, and do the things you want to do. At that point, consider whether continued wealth accumulation is really what you want, or whether you'd rather spend more time with family, pursue other interests, or give back to society. Money is a means to an end, not an end in itself. Once you have wealth, don't flaunt it. Flashy displays of wealth are tacky and attract the wrong kind of attention. They breed resentment and envy. They make you a target for thieves and con artists. Quiet wealth is much more elegant. Live well, certainly, but discreetly. The truly wealthy don't need to show off. Let me talk about sharing your wealth. Money isn't just for hoarding, it's for using and sharing. Once you have enough for yourself, consider how you can help others. This isn't just altruism, though that's certainly part of it. It's also about making the world better and finding meaning in your wealth. Use your wealth wisely. Think about what good you can do with it. Support causes you believe in. Help people who need it. Invest in things that make the world better. Wealth brings responsibility. You have resources that others don't. How you use them says something about who you are. Never lend money to friends or family unless you're prepared to write it off completely. If they ask for money and you want to help, give it as a gift with no expectation of repayment. If they do pay you back, wonderful, but don't count on it or pressure them for it. Expecting repayment from people close to you poisons relationships. Find ways to give money without creating obligation or embarrassment. This is an art. People have pride. They don't want charity. They don't want to feel indebted. So be creative. Invest in their business idea. Buy equity in their house. Frame it as something that benefits you as well as them. Help people while allowing them to maintain their dignity. Don't overprotect your children from the experience of moderate financial struggle. It teaches valuable lessons. It builds character and resilience. It motivates them to work hard. If you smooth every financial difficulty out of their path, you're not helping them. You're creating entitled, financially incompetent adults. Let them learn the value of money the same way you did. Know how to choose charities. Do your research. Check where the money actually goes. Small charities often need help more than large ones. Choose causes that align with your values. Be strategic about your giving. Don't just respond to every request that arrives in your mailbox. Decide what matters to you and focus your charitable giving there. Finally, let's talk about other people's money and your relationship to it. This is important because how you think about other people's wealth affects your own happiness in relationships. Don't judge people based on their money. Wealthy people aren't automatically bad, and poor people aren't automatically good. Money doesn't determine character. Making assumptions about people based on their wealth is shallow and often wrong. Judge people by their character, their actions, their kindness, not their bank balance. Don't envy what others have. Envy is destructive and pointless. You don't know what someone sacrificed to get where they are. You don't know what problems their money hasn't solved. Focus on your own journey, not on comparing yourself to others. Build your own wealth rather than resenting others for having more than you. Other people's money belongs to them. They can do whatever they want with it. Even if you think they're being foolish, it's none of your business. Even if it's your parents and you hoped to inherit it, it's theirs to spend as they please. Accept this and you'll save yourself a lot of frustration and disappointment. They can give it all away if they like. Yes, even your inheritance. Until the money is actually in your hands, it's not yours. Don't count on it. Don't plan around it. If you inherit money, be grateful.
If you don't, well, you were never entitled to it in the first place. Build your own wealth instead of waiting for someone else's. Once people are gone, you can't ask them questions about their financial decisions. If your parents split their estate unequally, you won't get an explanation. Try to understand their reasoning from their perspective. They probably had good reasons that made sense to them. Don't let money from the grave poison your memories or your relationships with siblings. Blood comes before money. Family relationships are more valuable than money. Don't let inheritances destroy families. Don't let disputes over money ruin relationships with your brothers and sisters. Whatever money is involved isn't worth losing your family over. Keep perspective. Your children owe you nothing financially. You chose to have them and raise them. They didn't sign a contract to support you in old age. Don't ask them for money or make them feel guilty about their success while you're struggling. They're welcome to help if they choose, but don't expect or demand it. That's not how it works. You provide for your children, and they in turn provide for theirs. Don't make money taboo in your family. Be open about finances, especially with aging parents. You need to know if they're in financial difficulties so you can help. They need to feel they can talk to you about money worries without shame or judgment. Breaking the taboo around money conversations can prevent serious problems. If someone gives you money, it's yours. Do with it as you please. Don't feel obligated to spend it how they would want or to keep checking with them. A gift is a gift. If they wanted control over how it was used, they should have stated conditions at the time or kept their money. In the end, wealth is a journey, not a destination. It's about learning, growing, and developing both your financial knowledge and your character. It's about working hard, working smart, and staying focused on your goals. It's about discipline, patience, and persistence. It's about making good decisions consistently over time. You can become wealthy. It's possible for you. It requires commitment, effort, and time, but it's achievable. The principles are simple, even if the execution is challenging. Stay focused, keep learning, work hard, be patient, make good decisions, control your spending, invest wisely, and never ever give up. The rules of wealth aren't magic formulas or secret knowledge. They're observations about how wealthy people think and behave. They're principles you can apply starting today. Some will be easier than others. Some will challenge you. But all of them, applied consistently over time, will move you toward greater prosperity. Your wealth journey starts now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when conditions are perfect. Now. Take the first step today. Whatever that step is for you, take it, and then take another step tomorrow, and another the day after, because wealth is built step by step, decision by decision, day by day. There are no shortcuts, but the path is clear. Now, walk it.